Welcome to AI Assembled, the top AI news for small business. I'm Chris Doelle, and each week I bring you the most important AI developments that can transform your business. Let's dive into this week's top stories.
10 days after the U.S. government ordered Anthropic to disable Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5, the two models are still dark. Anthropic has confirmed this week that access remains suspended for every customer worldwide, and the company is now framing the episode as the first real export control test case for a frontier AI model itself, not the chips that power it. That is the deeper story. For 2 decades, U.S. export controls have focused on hardware, GPUs, fab equipment, the chips that build the models. The Fable order is the first time the United States has reached past the silicon and reached the model. Anthropic also revealed this week that its run rate revenue has crossed $30 billion, up from roughly $9 billion at the end of 2025, and that more than 1,000 business customers are now each spending over $1 million a year on Claude. That number doubled in under 2 months. So you have a company tripling its revenue in 6 months, while its most capable models are turned off by federal order. For a small business owner, 2 takeaways. 1. The company you bought AI from last quarter may not be the same company next quarter, and the model you signed up for can be off the menu by Friday. 2. Every legitimate alternative is now seeing a flood of new demand, which means provisioning, pricing, and rate limits across every frontier model provider are about to get worse before they get better. If you have not yet signed contracts for backup model access, this is the week to do it. The second story is a quiet but enormous data point from J.P. Morgan Chase Institute. For the first time, a major bank has published research based not on what small businesses say they are doing with AI, but on what they are actually paying for. Chase Business Banking tracked AI service payments by small businesses from 2019 through 2025. The findings: AI adoption among small businesses has grown faster than any general-purpose technology in history. PCs took decades. The internet took 15 years. AI is on a steeper curve than both. By December 2025, 26.1% of small employer firms were paying for at least one AI service. And here is the part that matters for your shopping list. The percentage of firms paying for only one AI service dropped from 89% in 2019 to 72% by 2025. The share paying for 3 or more AI services jumped from under 1% to 9%. Translation: small businesses are no longer asking, "What is my AI tool?" They are asking, "What is my AI stack?" The SBE Council's 2026 Tech Use Survey backs this up. The median number of AI tools used per small business is now 5. For a small business owner who feels behind, here is the calibration. If you are using 0 or 1 AI tool today, your competitors are running 5. Pick 3 tasks this week, match each one to a different specialized tool, and stop trying to make a single AI do everything. And the third story closes the loop on what's behind those revenue numbers. Anthropic signed a new agreement with Google and Broadcom for multiple gigawatts of next-generation TPU capacity, expected to come online starting in 2027. To put gigawatts in context, a single gigawatt powers about 750,000 homes. Anthropic is committing multiple of those just for Claude inference. This is on top of Google's previously announced $40 billion investment in Anthropic and Anthropic's own $50 billion commitment to American compute infrastructure announced last November. The reason this matters to a small business is not abstract. Compute capacity is what decides whether the AI tool you used Tuesday is still available Friday at the same speed and price. Frontier model providers have spent 2026 rationing access, rate limits, paid tiers, quiet performance throttles, because demand is outrunning supply. The Google Broadcom deal is one of the biggest signals yet that the supply crunch is being addressed at industrial scale. The practical implication? Expect frontier model pricing to keep falling and frontier model availability to keep improving from late 2026 into 2027, which is why locking yourself into a long-term enterprise AI contract right now at today's prices is probably the wrong move.
Now to the biggest practical SMB story of the week, even though it shipped quietly. Microsoft Agent 365 went generally available on May 1st, but the meaningful update this week is that small business plans now have access to it for $15 per user per month as a standalone product. Agent 365 is what's called a control plane. It is a single dashboard where a small business owner can see every AI agent operating inside the company, including third-party agents, not just Microsoft's own. You can see which agent ran, what it touched, what it changed, and roll the action back if something went wrong. The reason this matters? In 2025, AI was a chat window your team typed into. In 2026, AI agents are actually doing things, sending emails, updating records, generating invoices, driving websites, without anyone in the office watching. An ungoverned AI agent is, functionally, an unaccountable employee with system access. Agent 365 is the first off-the-shelf product priced for small business that makes that visible. The practical move this week. Even if you don't buy Agent 365 yet, sit down and write a one-page list of every AI tool in your business that has the ability to act, not just generate. If that list has more than 3 items on it, you need governance before you need more AI. Story 2 in this block, and this one is going to hit some listeners' billing statements directly. On June 15th, Anthropic changed how programmatic use of the Claude Agent SDK is billed on subscription plans. Programmatic usage now moves to a separate monthly credit pool, billed apart from your seat licenses. Translation: if you or your developer set up an automation that calls Claude in a loop, for example, an agent that reads every incoming email and drafts a reply, that automation will burn through credits at a rate completely separate from your normal subscription. The Anthropic blog buried the change. The actual impact will show up on small business credit cards over the next 30 days. If you've recently built or hired someone to build any Claude-powered automation, get into the billing portal this week, find the new credit pool, and set a hard cap. An agent in a loop can burn a month's budget in a weekend. Quickly on the build layer. The open-source workflow tool N8N shipped a major update to its AI agent node, version 3.0, that adds tool-level human-in-the-loop approval. In plain English, when an N8N-built agent is about to do something that costs money or sends a customer-facing message, the agent stops and asks a human to approve the specific action first. This is the safest pattern available right now for any small business that wants to deploy agents without losing sleep. N8N also added direct integration with Microsoft Agent 365, so an N8N-built agent can appear as a governed member of a Microsoft 365 team, which means a small business can build its own custom agent on the cheap and still get the governance and visibility of a big company stack. For a small business with one technical person or a fractional IT provider, this is the most practical, lowest-cost agent build path available right now.
Last story this week, and it is a deadline. The Colorado Consumer Protections for Artificial Intelligence Act takes effect June 30th, 8 days from this episode. We talked about this last week, but the deadline is now on top of us, and the question every small business needs to answer this week is not, am I subject to it? The question is, can I prove I'm in compliance if someone asks? Quick refresher. The law applies to anyone using high-risk AI systems in decisions about Colorado residents, hiring, lending, housing, insurance, education, essential services. Small businesses with under $25 million in revenue get a grace period on some obligations, but not on the disclosure requirement. If your business uses AI anywhere in a decision that affects a Colorado customer, employee, or applicant, you need a plain language notice telling them so. 3 actions to take in the next 8 days. 1. Write the disclosure. It can be as short as 1 paragraph. Where on your site or in your hiring flow AI is used, and what categories of decision it shapes. 2. Post it where the Colorado relevant person will see it: your careers page, your loan application page, your insurance quote flow. 3. Save a screenshot and a dated copy. Even if no Colorado regulator ever asks, you've now built the template every other state is about to copy. New York, California, Illinois, Texas. Same law architecture, different effective dates. The work you do this week protects you in 5 states by Christmas. So here is the bottom line on this week. The U.S. government has now demonstrated it can turn off frontier AI models on 3 hours' notice. JP Morgan just proved with hard bank transaction data that small businesses are running 5-tool AI stacks, not single tools. Microsoft made governance affordable for small business at $15 a head. Anthropic is quietly charging extra for the automations small businesses are most likely to build. N8N made human-in-the-loop the default for the cheapest agents on the market. And Colorado's AI law is live in 8 days. The market is no longer asking whether small businesses will adopt AI. The market is sorting out who will adopt it safely, with proof, and with a backup. Here is your 5-step action plan for the next 30 days. 1. Sign up for a backup Frontier model account this week. If your primary is Claude, open an account on GPT or Gemini, or vice versa. The Fable shutdown showed how fast access can disappear. Don't wait for your turn. 2. Write a 1-page inventory of every AI tool in your business that can act, not just generate. If it sends, updates, posts, charges, or replies, it's on the list. 3. If you've built any AI automation on the Claude Agent SDK, get into your billing portal this week and set a hard credit cap. The new June 15th billing change is silent and expensive. 4. Post your Colorado AI disclosure before June 30th. 1 paragraph, plain language, dated screenshot in your records. It is the template you'll use everywhere by year end. 5. If you are still on a single AI tool, pick 2 more this month. 1 for a different task category, 1 as a redundancy backup. The JP Morgan data is unambiguous. The small businesses winning with AI right now are running a stack, not a single app. That's the brief.
That's it for this week's AI Assembled, the top AI news for small business. If you found this valuable, share it with a fellow business owner. If you want a hands-on group that you can work with on your specific AI needs, consider joining Business Success Academy at freshmediaworks.com/BSA. Until next week, keep innovating and keep it real.